Hi, welcome to the Basis to Bleachers YouTube channel. If you've seen some of my videos before, welcome back. If this is your first time, I'm glad you found your way here. On this channel, I am reading and talking about some of the amazing stories that I've gotten and that are in my two books, Basis to Bleachers and Backyards to Ballparks. Today I want to read a story from a guy that I met while I was on a cruise in Europe. We were in Dubrovnik for an afternoon, and we were in a church, and I stepped out of the church to get some fresh air, and there was a guy with a Cubs hat. I just wanted to talk about baseball. I wasn't looking to get another story. At this point, I had hundreds and hundreds of stories. But I went over to talk to him, and he started to tell me that he was at this very, very famous game in Cubs history. I immediately broke my promise to myself, and I said, I'm writing this book about baseball. Do you want to contribute this story? It was as if I had just tasted pizza for the first time. I was so awed by this story. There's a lot to it, but he sent me his story, and here it is. October 14, 2003, Wrigley Field. It was a night that will live, as the expression goes, and really is true here, in infamy. I was there with my wife, Mary Beth, and daughter, Jennifer. The Cubs were hosting the Marlins in the sixth game of the National League Championship Series. Ahead 3-2 in the best-of-7 series, they were leading this game 3-0 in the eighth. Just one win away from the World Series. Every Cub fan knew we needed just one more win, and it would probably come tonight. We were primed. People will say the loss of that game wasn't really Steve Bartman's fault, and they will lay out their case. But I was there, and I'm telling you that it was a definite turning point. Cubs fans and Cubs players had a psychological thing going on. We knew that anything could go wrong at any time, and that it probably would. And the Bartman thing was it. Once it happened, there was just a negative feel to the rest of the inning and game. The air came out of the place after we lost that game, and there was not a shred of confidence that we could win Game 7, even if it was to be at home in the friendly confines of Wrigley. We were sitting about 15 rows behind Bartman, and I can still see the whole thing playing out in slow motion. It was a very catchable ball headed toward the stands, according to what we saw and other photos. But we also saw Bartman moving into position to catch the ball. It seemed like the entire stadium was yelling, "No!" and thinking, "Don't do it, you idiot." Pictures reflect that an interference should have been called. And then the Marlins scored 8 runs. That was the game. That was the series. After the incident, thousands of people were yelling at the little guy in the Cubs hat and blue sweatshirt with the headphones on. I'm not proud of myself, but I'm sure I was yelling, "You stupid ass," along with many others. Not much later, I stepped out to go to the restroom, and I saw Bartman being escorted out of the stands, and I think out of the stadium, for his own safety. I remember seeing people in the walkway above him throwing stuff and yelling at him. Poor bastard. And poor Cubs. But now we've won it all, and we can forget about Bartman. Personally, I will never forget that night. That story is from Rich Pope, who lives in Northfield, Illinois. If you like the story and you haven't subscribed, please do. Come back and visit this channel often as I continue to read great stories that I've received from around the world. When you watch the stories, if you like them, please click the like button, share, tell your friends, make a comment. If you have a story that you would like to share with me for another book, or you're interested in buying the book, please contact me at eric.baseballstories, that's eric.baseballstories, plural, one word, @gmail.com. And today I'm wearing a Beatles shirt because this is the 60th anniversary of the Beatles' arrival in the United States. And my next book is about people's music and concert stories. So if you've got one of those to share, please do. Until the next time, thanks for coming to my channel.